Just fits in nicely. You know, the rules of law, whether they be at the House or, you know, generally in terms of guiding government investigations, they don't matter when you're going after Trump. You can break every rule in the book. And this is why the attack on Trump is so problematic. It's not about him personally. It's about whether or not, when there's a politician that the establishment or the left or whoever doesn't like, are we going to throw the rule of law out to get to him? And I tell you what, if the rule of law doesn't protect the President of the United States, you think it's going to protect us when the government comes after us over speech that they don't like we make, or any American makes? It's a dangerous, dangerous situation, and our constitutional republic is under assault through this attack on Trump.
You know, I hadn't heard it framed that way, but it sent a chill down my spine as you said that.
It's dangerous. It's a dangerous situation.
You know, I'm going to flip a little bit more positive here. You know, you guys have been instrumental in, you know, cleaning up a lot of what you call dirty voter rolls. You know, like almost 2 million in LA County. Yeah. You know, big deal. And so now you've also been very outspoken about the citizenship question.
Well,
right?
It's all part of the piece, you know.
Right.
The left doesn't want you to know how many non-Americans or Americans here are here in the United States. So they got some allies in the judicial branch of government, anti-Trump judicial activism, to take away the president's ability to effectively get a census question related to citizenship in the 2020 census. But it's all part of the piece. You know, they want to erase the distinction between citizen and non-citizen. And, you know, we have tens of millions of aliens here in the United States, both legal and otherwise. And a percentage of them register to vote, studies have shown, and a percentage of them are going to vote. So you've got that illegal voting problem. And I've always thought the discussion about open borders and amnesty isn't about the Hispanic vote, it's about the illegal alien vote. And sure enough, you're having leftists talk about giving the right to vote to people who are not citizens of the United States. And they don't think the rule of law should be enforced against illegal aliens, so of course they're going to be able to vote too, if they have their way. And this is why it's up to conservatives and those who want to protect our constitutional republic and the rule of law to say no to open borders, to say yes to voter ID, and more importantly, because voter ID isn't going to prevent aliens from voting, because many aliens have the voter ID necessary to vote if they're registered.
Right.
You got to make sure when someone registers to vote, we take more than their word that they're a citizen, that they provide citizenship verification. And so that's the new thing that needs to be done. And on top of that, Judicial Watch is trying to make sure that voting rolls are clean. Federal law requires the states to take reasonable steps to clean up the rolls, and that isn't happening in too many states. Our last analysis found there are 3.5 million extra names on the rolls. Meaning these are people who are dead or otherwise moved away. And a place like LA County, they have more people on the rolls than were living there. And it's a pretty good indication they're not taking steps to clean up the rolls. So they settled the lawsuit with us, California and LA. Mm-hmm. We sued over that, and they've agreed to begin the process, and they've already sent out a massive mailing or two to 1.6 million inactive voters, people who haven't voted for a long time. And if they don't respond or don't vote in the next two federal elections, it will take a long time to get them all off. But there will be immediate people immediately removed in theory. Those rolls will be significantly cleaner. And in Kentucky, we had another lawsuit that settled. Well, didn't settle actually. The government, we got a consent judgment, meaning they gave up. They agreed to do what we needed them to do. In Kentucky, it's a smaller state, but they're going to be mailing 250,000 names, which is I think 7% of their list. So this is something the Justice Department ought to be doing more of. But it's Judicial Watch is doing the heavy lifting here on this basic oversight of this desperate need we have for cleaner elections.
The citizenship question, you know, was challenged in court, right? And basically a judge challenged this addition.
There were lower court rulings that went against President Trump, and there were They went as quickly as they could to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, yes, you can ask a citizenship question, but the Trump administration didn't jump through the legal hoops that we've manufactured as a pretext to stop him from asking the question. They didn't write it like that, but that's my analysis of it.
Fascinating. Well, we're going to finish up in a moment. Is there anything else you'd like to say? Draw our attention to some of the work Judicial Watch is doing now, or what you're expecting to happen presumably next Wednesday when the special counsel.
I think people should recognize the Mueller testimony, this craziness over the president's tweets. It's all part and parcel of presidential harassment. And but the harassment is the degree it's targeting President Trump. We should recognize, though, it's an attack on the rule of law. And we're facing it at the border with the border crisis, the unwillingness to enforce the rule of law there, and the opposition and hatred for those enforcing the law. And then, of course, we got the clean election issue. So our system of government that protects our freedoms is under attack from a variety of very dangerous forces. You have open borders, elections that can be stolen, and a president that they're trying to hamstring in the least, if not remove, through lawless actions. This is today's United States of America, and I'm glad to say Judicial Watch is doing its part to try to defend the republic. And we just want more support, not only for the American people from doing so, but more politicians need to understand the gravity of the situation.
Tom Fitton, pleasure.
There you go. Thank you very much.